Welcome back to another episode of Nihon Rush Hour.
Yes,
it's your boy
sir.
Solaris here with
Caesar, man. What's up, bro?
not too much, man. Today is gonna be a crazy one.
We got a good one today, man.
We're turning from reactors to educators.
Educators / interpreters, man.
Yeah. So, you know,
Yep.
as you guys have seen, we've been reacting to like YZERR and NAMEDARUMA's beef.
Mm-hmm.
The little well, not really little. The big beef back and forth.
Yep.
Better known as the Wagyu back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're gonna give kind of like a breakdown.
Yep.
And our interpretation of the events that happened and what led up to, you know, these songs even happening and what kind of happened in between.
Yeah, we're gonna give you guys a full timeline, man. A full breakdown.
Yeah.
Our perception, our opinion on you know what went down.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, and it took some time for this to happen. This was a slow cooked Wagyu.
Slow cooked, you know. Yeah, man. So let's get to let's start, bro. So tell me what do you think? How did it start?
So the origin of this beef traces all the way back many moons ago to 2019.
Damn. Okay.
2019, and it started with guess who?
Well, I'm assuming, you know, it had to have been the G-k.i.D Dirty track with Bad Kush. That was like the official first shot. But was there something that happened before that? Like,
so originally it had started where G-k.i.D was accusing YZERR and Bad Hop of like stealing like the same sounds or flow from like a popular Roddy Ricch and Marshmello track called Project Dreams.
Okay.
And that was for like a song called Backstage, which was like YZERR and TG Jojo.
Damn. Okay. So it was basically an accusation of plagiarism.
Yeah.
So from the start, that was sort of what I guess he was calling him out because he felt like it was a complete ripoff.
Yeah, like he felt like it was just ripping off like American songs or like American artists or American sound, I guess. Even you could say.
Okay. Yeah. Because when I listen to when we listen to "You Can't Get Again," you can't get again. Check, nigga. Like, that was one of the main accusations, main topics, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like it was, for them, I guess they felt like it was something that needed to be said.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, you know, Nene had something to say about BMSG and Chamina. It was kind of like gatekeeping. That's what it felt like listening to that song, you know?
Yeah. So, but like not only that, it wasn't just, of course, we already reacted to it, but it wasn't just a G-k.i.D track, right? Like Bad Kush was on it.
Mm-hmm.
Who of course is part of NAMEDARUMA.
Yeah. So and that's not the first time you've ever seen that in hip hop, where you know somebody basically inherits a beef just by association. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody is dissing somebody and they make a song with somebody else and then they get hit. Like it's like when in 2004 when Ja Rule made the song New York. You know, song with Ja Rule and with Fat Joe and Jadakiss. And then 50 Cent just dissed them on Piggyback just because they were associated on the track. Yeah. And it was like, you're aligning yourself with somebody that's dissing me, so you automatically have beef, you know?
Yeah, so, exactly. And then like, that's really like the catalyst of what created like, I call it like tension at that point between them.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like things after that though like kind of cooled down after because in 2019 G-k.i.D was arrested.
Oh wow! What did he get arrested for?
Like I won't dive like too deep into like all of his things. Like it's not really my place in things, but like online there's like definitely some like physical, kind of like you know assault kind of things going on there.
Like he beat somebody's ass.
Like. There's a record. There's a record. Man. There's a record y'all can check out.
One thing I learned from this beef so far, there's a lot of people who grab people by the collars, bro. Bringing Rikey, NAMEDARUMA, and YZERR.
Yeah.
T-PABLOW, you know, they're putting hands on people, bro.
No, 100%.
Hey man, Japanese rappers, boy, they get down sometimes, bro.
You know? What's it called? Squabble up.
Squabble up.
Squabble up.
All right, man. Okay, so what happened after that?
So fast forward all the way to 2023. That's what, like 4 years? Yeah, 4 years later, from 2019 to 23, at the Hope 2023 after party at C'est La Vie in Tokyo.
Damn.
More Wagyu.
More Wagyu.
The physical kind.
So let me see what happened, bro. So there's a group called Japanese Manganese, right?
Yeah.
And it's Jagla and Sun Gong. They're like basically like a Osaka, Kansai region group. Like they're affiliated with so many people who are in that area, you know?
Yeah, I think like Kyoto.
Kyoto? Yeah. Those guys look very gritty, man. They look hardcore. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like there's a lot of hardcore players in this whole incident, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And So I'm guessing like Sun Gong from the Manganese like basically confronted YZERR, and I'm not sure like if it's over something personal or if it's like something to do with YZERR like being accused of being a biter. I don't know what their issue was, why they got into it.
Yeah, there's not too like much information specifically about that, but
there seems to be a lot of tension. Like I don't want to say, it seems to be one of those things where people don't talk to each other, but they're like, their boys have issues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's been in those situations where he says, she says stuff,
Yeah.
and then you see them in person, and you're like, yo, like, I just know you're my op type of thing.
Yeah. Well, Sun Gong said like after and alive, like that what happened that night, like he was drunk, like he doesn't really like know. So like apparently he was going up to YZERR, like talking about like personal stuff like that. Like YZERR, like didn't take it well, like that way, like whatever they were talking about, we're not sure. And they kind of got into like an
altercation.
A scruffle up, squabble up.
I heard T-PABLOW.
Yeah. So then like YZERR's twin brother T-PABLOW comes in, sees that there's like a scuffle going on, and then he jumps in, and then he starts getting involved, and he starts throwing punches too.
And who's that guy? There's a guy whose name always pops up when somebody gets their ass whooped, man. Asher Mike.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, Ryugo Ishida from Yurufua Gang.
Yeah.
He posted a live with a black eye one time after messing with Asher Mike and one of the dudes out there.
Yeah.
So these guys are serious. I'm telling you, man. People be putting hands on people.
Yeah.
It feels like 90s New York rappers,
So T-PABLOW went in there and Asher Mike caught a stray.
Damn, Yeti Cool Brothers. That's YZERR and T-PABLOW. You know what I'm saying? They got each other's backs, bro. Yeah. Crazy. So was any diss tracks released after that? I don't think so, right?
No. So like what happened is like they didn't like really like address it like the following day. After that it happened, like Sun Gong and his crew, like no one really addressed it online, which kind of only really made things like worse.
Probably
because no one was doing like apologies. Sun Gong said that he wanted to apologize to YZERR, like he was saying he was drunk he was saying that he was drunk that night. Doesn't know, YZERR was just not having it. He's like, nah, he's not doing that, so he was refusing, and he was just like focusing on like upcoming shows and stuff.
Damn,
like
okay.
that.
Usually the silence is kind of like
speaks volume.
Yeah.
Silence speaks
volume. Do you remember
when
Push Ups was released by Drake, and then everybody's waiting for Kendrick's response for those 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Everybody's sweating in anticipation. What's gonna happen next?
Yeah. Every day you're.
And I feel like YZERR was very quiet throughout this whole beef in terms of like musically. Like if we go from 2019 to all the way to 2023, and there's only been like You Can Get Again by Reiki and them, and then you hear like the Philo beef, Bad Hop's dead. Like it's like these guys are talking a lot. YZERR's not really responding, So it's interesting to just.
Well, let's get into that too. Like what caused Feeler beef?
Yeah, what caused that? Because I thought there was only I thought the fight where they're saying somebody grabbed somebody by the collar. I thought that happened in this the Hope Festival thing. So there's another event. There's another brawl.
Well, like what they're talking about specifically is like related to like NAMEDARUMA, right? The only part that like NAMEDARUMA, well, at least one member, Bad Side Kush, has involved in this is being right now just a feature that's on that track with Reiki Daddy.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that Bad Side Kush and Asher Mike and sort of those people kind of have like a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't done enough research on it, but I feel like these guys might actually have a relationship. Just because like they give me the vibe of people who like have they ever collabed together before?
Who like
Bad Side Kush and Sun Gong and these people? Because now I'm about to enter my investigation phase, bro. Because I need to know like why Sun Gong felt like he had Oh yeah, here Jagla. Although it's not official member of, although it's not works with NAMEDARUMA, but he's part of the same underground Kansai ecosystem. So it says that he's a close associate of Bad Side Kush and have collaborated on music before. So that's what I was saying. I feel like Sun Gong might have been drunk and he felt like, yo, isn't that a guy that they were talking about on You Can Get Again? Let me get him right now.
Yeah.
Hey,
that
I could be wrong.
This is just our interpretation, of course, of events. So, like following that up, a month later, October comes, and there's another festival that happens in Aichi, and it's called the AH1 Hip Hop Festival, and that's where things kind of took another level and they escalated again.
So that's where the collar grabbing happened.
Yeah, so Bad Hop, Japanese Manganese, and NAMEDARUMA were all on like the same lineup. And like allegedly, what happened is YZERR asked like staff at the festival to remove Japanese Manganese like going before his set, set.
So damn. Okay, so there's a lot of inheriting beef here, because technically it starts off with Raiki putting Bad Side Kush on the track, and then it goes into Sungong trying to like say something to YZERR, and then now it turns into almost like NAMEDARUMA stepping up to defend Japanese Manganese if they find out that YZERR tried to remove him off the lineup. So yo, why are you trying to remove this dude off the lineup?
Well, we'll get into like what really happened like at that festival. So again, like I was saying, YZERR like allegedly asked them to remove Japanese Manganese before his set, like Bad Hop's set, and like of course it's not just like a personal. It's more of like
it's disrespect to me.
Yeah, for sure.
If you try to pull your weight on me like that, like yo, like we're Bad Hop, we're probably bigger and more popular.
Yeah.
So yo, I don't want to remove this guy from before my set. I don't want to have to deal with him. Or maybe he wanted to remove him because they want to have an interaction with him.
Yeah. So then, like, what happened at that festival is, backstage, he saw Ashura Mike, he saw Bad Side Kush, and he ended up confronting them. And there's like a well circulated video.
That's what video you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think we can show exactly what's going on, but we'll have the video in here. But essentially, they had like a whole fight that broke out like in between all those guys, which you can see on footage online, and that's when the beef didn't just become personal. Now it became more of like a grudge match.
Okay.
Because now you have
So basically, that's where, I guess, like the point of no return happens.
Yeah, basically, because it's like what followed up with that, they have like a fight, and Bad Side Kush is involved because he was on Reiki Daddy's like diss track, and then like Bad Hop's performance was canceled.
Okay.
They canceled that day, and the official reason that's listed is due to equipment failure.
Crazy.
Yeah, so they said that there was equipment failure, but fans, they saw that there was like a whole fight that happened before the festival. So fans weren't believing that there's like, it's not equipment failure. It's a whole fight that went on. And then YZERR went on live 2 days later to explain what happened, and he apologized to fans and organizers. But up until this point, like NAMEDARUMA as a group and Bad Side Kush itself, like didn't say anything publicly at this point.
I gotta say, like, that's pretty gangster.
Yeah.
I'm all about like I said, get in the booth, no tweets, get in the booth. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty gangster. But also, I do see it. I do see now, I have a better sort of understanding now of, because I had some of those questions when we first listened to some of these songs. Like, what's the driving factor behind what's going on? Like, why is YZERR's quiet this whole time? And why do they keep saying, this guy's talking on social media? But now we see, okay, cool. It's because NAMEDARUMA, they're keeping everything on wax. They're keeping quiet. And I think YZERR's going online talking about it a lot. So they kind of feel, it's an edge almost you have when you're not saying much.
Well, for sure. But now also, like, after the events that happened, now they're put in a position where, like, they're a part of whatever beef is brewing now because they're on film, being there, like, on video.
Yeah.
I should say, you know what I mean? So now it escalated.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I feel like these guys have an affiliation from the beginning.
Yeah.
Bad Side Kush, Sungong, the Japanese Manganese. Like, it feels like these guys are already part of a network. So it's almost like kind of you mess with one of us and we all have a problem with you. So kind of YZERR, I guess was wise enough to actually try to cancel that show, to be honest.
No, facts.
Imagine you booking a show and it's all your ops on the lineup.
Yeah.
Well,
who knows? Maybe he didn't even have the option to cancel. Maybe the organizers are just like, nope.
All right, so I'm gonna beat somebody up. We're gonna cancel this show.
They're like, wrap it up and pack it up. Boom. So that was October. Now fast forward to December 1st. And then, the second track in our was it trilogy? Yeah, trilogy of reaction songs came out. Feel or Beef Bad Hop is Dead.
Yep. My music is a requiem, bro.
Yeah.
That was an amazing diss track.
Yeah.
So many dope bars. And basically, the theme and the topic of sort of exposing YZERR as this sort of industry plant.
Yeah.
A guy who's like two-faced and playing Twitter games.
Yeah.
and at the same time, just telling him that, you know, we don't really want to even be involved in this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we got real life issues to deal with, and you know, they also tell YZERR that they feel like he can't even respond to them, that he would get, you know, obliterated.
Yeah.
You know?
And like for those of you who like just clicked on this video but not the other ones, like we highly recommend you go back and check it out because we do like a really in-depth analysis.
For sure,
like,
man.
Detailed kind of watch.
I think you know, my favorite verse was probably from G-Plants. He had that line about your fans are addicted to like a drug. You know, that comparison. That's for me. That's a highlight for me. The highlight of the track. That bar, because it could be interpreted in so many ways about the you know, drugs being not only just synthetic, like a fake pleasure, but also how it can be destructive to you if you get addicted to it. Like mainstream music can ruin hip hop. And corrupt society. And that was, to me, that was the essence of this whole issue in hip hop, of like the underground artists versus like the label artists, you know. And again, we're not saying that anything that they were saying was true. It's just from listening from their perspective, that's what it felt like at the time, you know. They really did a lot of character assassination, which was cool, and I love the beat on that track.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that too is like that video, like Feel the Beef, Bad Hop is Dead, was filmed at the same.
Bad Pop is Dead.
Bad Pop is Dead was filmed at the same like venue, like C'est La Vie in Tokyo, where like the
first fight happened.
The after party of Hope Festival Beef
Yeah,
happened.
man, a lot of symbolism right there. I love the family element in it, the brotherhood, man. They look like they're not to be messed with, man. And we know they all whoop ass, bro.
Yeah.
Asher and Mike, even their homies whoop ass.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
So then, yeah, that track, like, of course, they dropped that track, and it did, like, 1 million views, like, within 24 hours, basically. And then that track just, like, really blew up. And then, of course, after a track like that, YZERR has to respond.
Yeah.
So that leads us into, like, the next, I guess...
Guidance.
Guidance.
Crazy.
The YZERR portion of the beef. So after that track dropped, YZERR didn't stay like too quiet for too long. So they dropped that on December 1st, and then January 21st, YZERR went and he did like what's it called? Like he had teased the track on his radio show. So during his radio show on River Talk to the Dome, like he said that he had recorded that song in Dubai.
That's a flex.
Yeah.
He recorded a video too in Dubai? Was the video recorded in Dubai too?
I'm not sure if the video was. Maybe. That would actually make a lot of sense. But he said, like, on the radio show that he had recorded it in Dubai.
Crazy.
And then, like, specifically, of course, he recorded that song in response to NAMEDARUMA.
Yeah. Guidance, bro. Lyrical dissection.
Yeah.
He, like, really exposes a lot of contradictions.
For sure.
Coming from the NAMEDARUMA side.
For sure.
Like, when I'm listening to Feel a Beef, like... You know, of course, I'm only listening from their perspective, but then when YZERR throws it back at them, say, yo, you guys ask me if I can even respond to a diss song, but then can you guys even make a diss song by yourselves because you guys are ganging up on me? Then, you know, they're saying, oh, we don't even know who you are, and, you know, we don't care, but then they're making an entire diss song about him. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of those things that they pointed out, you know. I think there was just a lot of bars, bro. I couldn't believe how detailed and layered. I was surprised because the way that NAMEDARUMA was painting him was just that he was just some kind of like average rapper, but he had triple entendres, bro, double entendres. You know?
Yeah, he does. He's not just stealing.
When he said, "We're gonna literally split the weed," to me that was my favorite bar in the whole track because there was so many layers of play on words with smoking and weed. Splitting the weed, meaning grass splitting, which can be interpreted as splitting the weed, breaking down weed and chopping it up. But at the same time, it also means pioneer. So he's saying, I'm going to break down these wannabe OGs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It really blew my mind, bro.
And even the video had symbolism in itself because right in the Feel or Beef track, like in the music video, there's like all the guys there, the whole gang's there, eating steak and stuff all together. Whereas it's like in YZERR's video, in Guidance, he's sitting there solo dolo, chopping up the steak. You know, he's taking the whole beef by himself.
He's handling it by himself. I like that, bro. I like you pointed that out because that was actually one of my favorite things too.
That was gangster.
Was the visual symbolism because, yeah, like, you know, I will say that it's one of those beefs that's very complicated to sort of even decide who won.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially because we're looking at it in retrospect because we weren't there in the moment.
Yeah.
Versus like, you know, when I looked at a lot of beefs, if you're there in present moment, then you can understand the impact more.
How it felt in the moment.
How I felt in the moment and the reaction and exactly what was being discussed. Because looking back at it, it's easy for me to go to the song by YZERR or Feel a Beef and kind of be like, this one's better, this one's better. But you don't know the impact of these tracks, you know? You can't feel it really.
100%. And then I guess like, you know, to put the bow on the final thing. So after that, NAMEDARUMA like didn't like respond. There's no diss track follow-up going against YZERR after that. And then Japanese Manganese had like apologized on like X.
For the fight?
Yeah, they just like issued an apology. But like YZERR and T-PABLOW, like they're just not about that. Like
they didn't accept the apology?
No, like after their scrap and all the things that went down, like they're just, you know,
crazy.
They refuse to reconcile.
Hey man, I will say something though. NAMEDARUMA, bro, I respect that. Because, you know, the whole thing is about cloud chasing. Yo, which one of you is cloud chasing? But the fact that they didn't diss back or say anything after YZERR's response actually says something about their character. Maybe they weren't cloud chasing.
Yeah.
You know? And the fact that they weren't putting any tweets up or online, that speaks a lot to me.
And it might be one of those things where each person just said what they have to say and like that they can just leave it at that. They don't have to like each other and you don't have to be friends. You don't have to apologize. It's just, it is what it is. That's how I feel about you. That's how you feel about me.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of
So be it.
So be it. And I feel like a lot of the beef, like I said before, was kind of feels like one of those inherited two guys that weren't really meant to clash but end up clashing because of circumstance.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
But,
for sure.
You know, the subject matter of this beef will always be important to me in hip-hop, whether it's Japanese, whether it's North American, it's important, you know, for people to gatekeep. And it's important for you to use the freedom of speech that comes with hip-hop. And that applies to both NAMEDARUMA and YZERR. Because NAMEDARUMA calling out YZERR for whatever they're calling him out for, whether it's justified or not, YZERR has the opportunity to defend himself. And he did that in an amazing way. So now, you know, we'll let the crowd decide who the hell can last longer. Remember when Earl Sweatshirt said that? We let the crowd decide. They let the fans decide, yo, what's real and what's fake. But ultimately, you know, you gotta put your skills to the test.
Yeah.
And you gotta prove it to us that, you know, you're not what they say you are.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's one of those things too, like we said it before, but I guess for anyone that's new, that's watching or hasn't watched our previous videos, like beef and hip hop, like it's something that will exist and will kind of like always exist.
No matter what.
I mean? Hip hop, like rapping at the end of the day, like being a lyrical rapper at least. I don't know about the mumble jumble, but like, you know, it's competition.
Facts.
And it's always gonna be competition. And like, of course, we're not gonna condone like fighting and like, you know,
violence,
squabbling up. We're not gonna condone the violence of it. But in terms of like lyrical violence, you know, pen to paper violence, then
we need that, man.
That's just part of the game. And either side, if you're just a NAMEDARUMA fan, you know, you like at the end of the day, both of them drew their swords. They did what they had to do. They said what they had to say. So you like as whether you like one more than the other, whatever, you just have to appreciate that, you know, people put pen to paper and they got it off their chest.
And the skills will put to the test and the fans win, man. And again, usually I like to give my opinion on who I think won. Yeah. But I just can't. It wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be, I guess, honest, because like I said, I wasn't there to witness the actual moment. So there's a layer of that's a very important factor actually when it comes to hip hop beefs, because in retrospect, you know, you can look at things and be like, yo, Jay-Z Takeover might have actually been better than Nas' Ether. But Nas' Ether, when it dropped, it really rocked the world, you know? Yeah. But looking back and just looking at the lyrics and flow, like you might think that Jay-Z was actually had a better song. But this song doesn't work like that. So that's why we're gonna reserve our opinion for about who won for this one. Yeah, and like I think the last little thing that I'll add is, you know, the beef started in 2019 and then it kind of rose in like 2019, and then it kind of like really escalated and peaked in 2023. Feels like a One Piece arc. and we're only in 2025, so. Like, is the beef over indefinitely? We don't know. Yeah. We'll see what happens as time goes on, you know. But, you know, that was Nihon Rush Hour's interpretation And timeline of
string of events
Yep.
for the NAMEDARUMA
YZERR, man.
beef.
Yeah, let us know if you guys want more videos like this where we just give our opinions and you know, interpretation of things that happens. You know, yeah, man, and go check out our reactions to Guidance, Philo Beef, Bad Pop is Dead.
Yeah.
You can get it again. I mean, yo, and drop your recommendations, man, for what things you want us to check out. You know, hit us up.
Last, but certainly not least, we got to make a special shout out to someone, man.
Oh yeah, we got to give a special shout out
to
Ponco2871. That's the Instagram handle, Ponco2871, man. You know, for setting us up, giving us a lot of needed information to be able to make this video. You know, we appreciate you guys, man. You guys are some of the best, you know, the best audience somebody could ask for, man, for real. You know, Hachi emoji.
No, we appreciate it. So until next time, if you want to contact us, reach out to us. You know, if we missed something, feel free to let us know. If we didn't understand something, feel free to let us know. We're here to learn. If you want us to react to some music, you know, your music, your favorite artist music, you'll find an email down below. Email us there, message us on Instagram, X, TikTok. We'll respond to you as soon as we can. We're always on the look.
Yep.
And until next time, this Nihon Rush Hour, eating some premium Wagyu. We're out. Peace.